Well, this music can only mean trouble. So we were ordered to clean the entire compound.
Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift up that cabinet over there. Now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier.
Nice. Aw, man, is there rats? Ah! A rat! Oh boy.
Calm down, it's not a big deal. It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there.
You're right! Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner?
Ugh, why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description.
Well, if you want to continue living your healthy life as a strategist, you should clean. Levi Ackerman would be disgusted with a lot of you.
Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prize Koshu style and do all the work for us?
Shut it! My Koshi military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea!
A collection of Kai and Takeda's tactics during the Warring States period.
You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess.
Wow. Get wrecked.
Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshi military science is far from outdated.
Oh look, Kondo's coming.
What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance it's clean as a
Gotcha.
Where's the chief?
Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen and he glared at Harada.
You fell for it.
Damn you, Harada. You tricked me!
Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker.
I can't wait to do Harada's route. It's gonna be nice.
Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people?
Wow. Hi everyone, I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor. Oh, awesome! Thanks! Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Well, I'm proud. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape.
Right? See everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape.
Huh.
Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task.
All you did was complain.
Didn't Souji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while we busted our asses. Hey, quiet. Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata is the one being overprotective here.
It is your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice. True, the place looks different. I could get used to this. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea! Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke.
Me? Whoa, hold on a minute here. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this. I'll help too, Heisuke. Oh yeah? We'll take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin. Oh, he's moving in. He made a move.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it.
Everyone wants to spend time with me. This is nice.
Shinpachi, there's some trash over there. Go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust.
You guys. I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh? What? What? I could just see Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. Maybe they're going to talk about the lung? I'm worried about Okita. What were Okita and Dr. Matsumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk to the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately, now that I thought about it. Was he alright? I decided to follow them. Let's spy. Huh? Unfortunately, I'd waited too long, and by the time I made my way outside, they were gone. Darn. I think they went this way. Oh, hello again.
Oh, Yukimura. Are you looking for someone?
Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor?
Oh, yeah. I think I saw them on their way to the courtyard.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Just slow down before you hurt yourself, alright?
Yes, goodbye. I saw him walk off, and it got me thinking. The courtyard. Should I try and catch up? Or should I go around the back to reach the courtyard before they did? I don't think we want to reach that before they get there. I don't want them to know, because we were in the room when they left, so they'll be like, how the heck did you get here? Catch up. I figured my best course of action was to follow them and hope I could catch up. I hope that was right. Maybe I should have saved. Oh no. And there they were. Just like Shimada had said. I could see Okita and the doctor sitting on a bench talking. Their expressions were grim, so I kept my distance and hid as well as I could. Eavesdropping was not something I was proud of, but I had a terrible feeling about Okita.
I'll be honest with you, Okita. You have tuberculosis.
For a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine, and suddenly I felt very, very cold. Did he just say... I had a feeling that was it. The real thing, huh? The famous disease. Okita's illness, which caused coughing fits and forced him out of military operations, was eventually discovered to be pulmonary tuberculosis. Aw, that makes me sad.
You aren't surprised.
Well, it's my body, Doc. It's hard to imagine a cold would last this long. Okita has tuberculosis? It was all I could do to keep from screaming. My whole body shook. Aw, Chizuru. Gotta tell you, though, I'm not used to getting health advice from doctors, you know.
This isn't a laughing matter.
Don't be fooled. I'm scared shitless, believe me.
The best medicine for tuberculosis is rest. I suggest you leave the Shinsengumi and eat nutritional foods to keep up your energy.
Sorry, no can do.
Look, this is serious. If you don't deal with this, you might be fine now, but eventually you won't even be able to get up from your bed.
Then I'll be here until then. I put my sword before my body, even if I cough up blood.
Why are you so desperate to stay here?
I'm the Shinsengumi sword. Me being here is my everything. I'm here to kill anyone who stands against the Shinsengumi. Simple as that.
I understand. If your condition worsens, then you may end up causing trouble for your friends. You understand that, don't you? If you insist on staying, then you must agree to do as I tell you. If you won't, then I'll tell Kondo about your condition. I think we both know what he'll do.
Man, This means I'm gonna have to take some really disgusting medicine, doesn't it?
Of course.
Man, sucks that it's you that found out. Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita is going to die? My chest was tight and breathing had become an effort. I leaned heavily against a nearby beam and struggled to hear the rest of their conversation. Matsumoto went quiet, his eyes looking off into the distance. Okita grinned and nudged him. Look, Doc. Please don't tell Kondo and the guys about this, okay? Promise. He was quiet for a long time. At last he sighed and his shoulders slumped.
Well, I suppose there are certain things that not everyone needs to know. There's something else I've been keeping secret. I just can't bring myself to tell her.
Me? He looked up at the sky for a moment.
There's a rumor that Kodo is working for a group of extremists, some of the imperialist Ronin. How could I tell her that?
The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father working with nationalists? Then Dr. Matsumoto did know something about where my father was. Well, sometimes you get the bear.
And sometimes the bear gets you. Yes, I know. Well, I'll be around more in the future to come by and check on you. Don't push yourself too much, alright?
Thanks, Doc. I was lost in thought for a few moments, and when I finally looked up, Matsumoto was already gone. Okita had tuberculosis. Father was working with the men who wanted to overthrow the shogunate. My head was spinning. It was so much to take in. Just then... Darn it! How did you know I was here? Chizuru. I suddenly heard him say my name and I froze. Wait, did he know I was here the whole time? My heart resumed beating, but was now beating so quickly that it seemed to burst my chest. Come on, Chizuru. You can come out now. His deep eyes were looking straight towards me. So Okita had noticed I was here this whole time. Darn. I braced myself and approached him. Please don't kill me. It's all right. Come sit down over here. He grinned coolly and patted the bench next to him. I couldn't bear to look into his eyes. All right. My eyes trained purposefully on the ground at my feet. I slowly lowered myself onto the bench. Aw. I'm getting all weepy. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. The silence was maddening. My head felt somehow light and heavy at the same time, as if it might sink into my stomach or float away like a balloon. The silence was unbearable, so I spoke out. You didn't buy the crap that doctor was saying, did you? Come on, do I really look like I'm sick? His words were defensive, as if he needed to tell himself that it weren't true. I was at a loss. Man, that doctor sure is a jokester. How often does someone sick look this good? If he was just messing around, I wish he would have said it at a more appropriate time. I mean, he has a bunch of gullible chumps to which he's attending, so they'll believe anything. Was it really all a joke? This was a doctor who was recognized in his field by the shogun, and it's unlikely he was wrong. Even so... You're a doctor's daughter, right? If I really had tuberculosis, you would have realized it way sooner, right? If you, of all people, didn't think anything of it, then I'm in the clear. It's just a misdiagnosis. Considering Okita's condition, I couldn't imagine trying to burst his bubble. Nothing I could say would make the situation better. You won't tell anyone, right? If you tell anybody, then I'll probably have to kill you after all. I'd heard those words many times before, often delivered in a cheerful, casual tone. If I got in the way, he'd kill me. If I wasn't useful, he'd kill me. And every time I'd heard them, I'd been terrified by how serious he was. But this time he only sounded sad. You say that so much, Okita. I could feel tears welling up in my eyes, but no, this wasn't the time. With a mighty effort, I swallowed the saw building in my chest. He gave me an odd, crooked smile. Yeah, I guess I do. He stood up. After a second's hesitation, I followed suit. Okita? For the first time since I'd sat down, I looked straight into his eyes. What? My mind was still reeling from everything I just learned, but I had to give him an answer. I won't tell anyone. About your illness. I promise. Aww! I didn't even have to pick an option that time. Thanks. His smile was gentle and as honest as I'd ever seen from him. After he left, I stood alone in the courtyard. It was the first time Okita had thanked me for anything. By all rights, I should have been happy, ecstatic even, but instead I felt miserable. My heart was a stone in my chest, and my stomach felt as if it had twisted itself nearly in half. Okita. A stray breeze caressed my cheek. It felt cold. No! How can it already be starting to get sad? This is the first route, darn it. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. Ever since Sanon had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. A secret division comprised of men who had become Furies. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really all right to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? I got too many feels. October of 1866 now? Wow. Is Okita still alive? After the dust cleared, following the Hamaguri Rebellion, the Shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the Shogun once the Choshu domain were declared enemies of the court. A military expedition led by the Tokugawa shogunate against the Choshu, who attacked the imperial palace and became enemies of the court after the Hamaguri Rebellion. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate decided to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Kondo was asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over the domains whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of Shogun Iemochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in a surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October 1866. The pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. It was the worst of times. What is that noise? That day I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. It sure has been hot lately. Whatever that was. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to this humid heat.
Indeed.
I always wondered. Even in midsummer, Saito always wore his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? Nah, he's too cool, man. He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto.
We can begin with this store and do our rounds. Wait here, Yukimura. There is nothing for you to do inside.
Alright. He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men.
It's the Shinsengumi. There are rumors floating around about Ronin coming in and out of here, so I'll have to inspect your store.
Yes, sir. Of course. I'd been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. Oh no. Hey! Out of the way! You got a couple patriots coming through here. These darn patriots. A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they looked like the sort who only used their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill. Hey! You deaf? I told you to move! The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. What should I do? It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I was about to stop the Ronin... Oh!
Desist, you hooligans!
What's this? You think you can tell us what to do, lady? Ha! A woman wants to pick a fight with us? Patriots loyal to the Emperor?
Well, perhaps it is you who should feel pathetic for being told by a woman to stop. Don't you know how much trouble you're causing to the Kyoto civilians?
You bitch! The man's obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Hey! I made a move. Wait! When I had come to my senses, I noticed that I had instinctively taken action. I had positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her. Who are you? You know this broad? No, I don't. Then how's about you keep your damn nose out of my goddamn business? Flecks of spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country, as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? A samurai should protect common people, not attack them. What did you say?
That's right, you tell him, son! How do you like that, you damn Ronin? Patriot my ass, get out of my city!
Something about my speech must have struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. You son of a bitch! With the rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from its scabbard. Gah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Saito? Did you, just, like, knock him in the head? Gah! Huh? Yeah! Woo! My hero. Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes.
You needn't worry. I used the back of my sword.
Saito! You...
Take them to headquarters. They may be Choshu.
Yes, sir. Working quickly, Saito's men set to work, binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me.
That was reckless. Why didn't you call me? What were you going to do if they hurt you gravely?
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured?
The gentleman is right. You were dreadfully reckless. I had the situation quite well in hand.
A scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought that my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. Erstwhile. Well, excuse me, princess. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if suddenly remembering something very important.
Oh, but you did save me, didn't you now? And I haven't yet thanked you. How crude of me. Thank you.
Oh, well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest.
Oh, you needn't be so modest. It's way more respectful than just being a bystander. I suspect that this, our meeting here, is Providence. Young ladies must watch out for one another here in the city.
What? Saito glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place.
You can't expect to fool everyone. There's no need to worry about it.
Oh dear, was it supposed to be a secret? Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Man, you got good eyes. Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
I'm terribly sorry, but I don't believe I've even asked your name. How terribly boorish of me. I should very much like to be friends, but it is difficult to become acquainted with the nameless. Might I inquire as to who you are, then?
Well, this is...
Oh, I know who he is. Mr. Saito, yes? The Shinsengumi is frightfully famous here. And you are?
My name is Chizuru Yukimura. It's nice to meet you.
Yukimura?
Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised, and she stared intently at me.
Your last name is Yukimura? Were you born in the East?
Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I had come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her, and she laughed and looked up.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing. It was the same last name as my acquaintance.
Any chance that lady I met before?
I think Yukimura is a really pretty last name.
You think so? Thank you.
And it is a pleasure to meet you, Chizuru. You may call me Sen.
Miss Sen? Nice to meet you. A young woman who was rescued by the heroine from belligerent Ronin in Kyoto. She is also known as Osen. Okay.
Oh goodness, you needn't be so uptight. You look to be about my age, so I see no reason for us not to speak as equals.
So just Sen then?
Yes, I suppose that will do. We must meet again sometime, Chizuru.
She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I'd had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood, stunned, for a moment or two. Saito was eyeing Sen walking off, and eventually he turned to me.
That girl seemed to be rather curious about your last name.
I know, huh? She did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. It seemed like Saito was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought.
We're running behind our schedule. We should be going now.
Oh, yes! So we continued on our rounds, trying to withstand the scorching heat. The heat wave ended up lasting several days. On one such day... Oh! A new guy.
Pardon me, Yukimura. Is the batch of tea I prepared good enough?
Oh, it may be better to make them lukewarm. It's still quite hot today, you know?
Ah, I see. You're amazing.
This young man is Kazue Soma. He joined the Shinsengumi just before summer began. He's very serious and respectful. Kondo supposedly met him when he was in Choshu for the envoy, and he invited Soma to join us. Now he currently works as Kondo's page. I guess he grew fond of the Shinsengumi, and he was focused on learning about all that it takes to become a successful warrior. Oh. Wow, I love your outfit. Other new person.
Then maybe we could water it down?
But if you do that, then the tea's flavor will become lighter.
Oh. Hey, Soma, what are we supposed to do then?
Why don't we cool it down with the well water?
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's give it a try.
This energetic lad is Risabura Nomura. He joined the Shinsengumi around the same time as Soma, and because of their closeness in age, Nomura became Kondo's page in training. For him, he was a huge fan of the Shinsengumi, and he joined them because of it. That left me to make sure that I teach them about all of the duties and responsibilities that go into becoming a page. Which was harder than I thought. The tea doesn't have to be room temperature, just a little cooler to offset the hot weather. So, first prepare some warm water rather than boiling hot, then try brewing it. That way it doesn't dilute the tea's flavor.
Whoa! Wow, okay, I see. Wow, you sure do know a lot about this stuff.
I agree. It's very educational.
Thanks? Well, as for the tea, I'll pour some and take it to them, so you two...
What do you want us to do? We'll do anything.
Yes, indeed. Let us know. Alright, guys. You two are going to do some sword training with me.
Ugh.
What's the matter? You don't want to do it? No. Please train us.
Well, as for me, I have some work to do.
Hey, you're a newbie. Don't be shy now. Nomura, come on now. This training is what will make us great warriors.
That's not training, that's pure hazing.
Well, I'll be taking them off your hands for the moment.
Okay, please take care of them. Don't go too hard on them. Soma gulped deeply and he looked nervous. Nomura, on the other hand, looked ready to cry as Nakakura dragged both of them off to training. I wish the two of them the best of luck. Hey, Kazue Soma's record of service has been unlocked. This late in the game.